you have already somehow, should I say, deduce or has taken out the good thing, and that is what you are taking. You're making sure that the body naturally takes good things. When things fall into your intestines, the intestines, from the small intestine to the large intestines, whichever way as the process go through, the squeezing of the food out and all the through the liquidation, or the nature of which the liquid nature that the food tends to become, and all that process which somehow turns up that the body has to absorb whatever, the absorption and all that thing that goes on, the absorbing of the food and the good things is being squeezed out. The nature of the body allows and accepts good things. It's taking in the good things or the better things that you took in. But not all the things that you ate may necessarily be good for the body. But the body will naturally take good things. That is how it comes in words. The words that we listen, the things that we hear. If you go to speak, you have conversing with your friend, for instance, and he's saying all sort of things. The ability of those things that he's saying might have bad things and all things that are unnecessary to you. Immediately you sense it. You say what you're saying is rubbish. Why would you say that? Because instinctively you are able to have that discernment to decide what is useless, what is nonsense, what is all that you can tell. So you reject. Normally you have that ability to reject things that are bad, that will come to you, that will destroy you. But most of the time also you fail, or the body fail instinctively to be able to reject the bad things. Sometimes you begin to accept or think that thing is good. Now, in that sense, the body has got that natural instinct ability to act in that way. But we have a culture and we have moral norms that the body, the human soul, has grown to accept. And as we talk in the good and the bad, I am pointing out that there are some things that are not necessarily bad, but you have accepted as being bad. So when you are engaging in your instinctive receiving end of whatever that is being put out there, whether you are giving it out or it's being put out there and you are absorbing it, you sort of may reject certain things that may not necessarily be bad or harmful to you. But due to the culture and the religion that has given you the norms of life, the moral standard that you set for yourself, based on that, you are then judging and saying that this is not good. What you're saying is foolish. It is not right. It is not necessarily acceptable. That based on that, you make your rejections, and you're doing that. You are not allowed the natural being that you are, the natural person that you are, to take its course. If you have allowed that, you will realize to see that most of the things that you reject are not necessarily bad, but there are bad things, there are evil things. And most of the time, in the same spiritual sense, there are spiritual words that are being put out there, or spiritual inspirations that are not necessarily bad, but we end up rejecting it due to our fixed religious understanding. Because you may be a Christian, and here you have a Muslim right there, or the Muslim idea or Muslim advices coming from the Muslim viewpoint, and they may be very good. They may be very good, very good. But your Christian norms tells you that he's an enemy. So forever you have to abstain from that person and distance yourself from his advices or whatever it is. It may be good. Even parents or a friend, just for the fact of the cultural background, or for something that stands in the way of your belief or your hopes, you will reject that person and reject his views. And for all you know, you may end up rejecting something that may have been very, very good, or very good ingredients that may help generally. So if you are somebody who is not fixed-minded, you're not fixed-minded person, you're not morally possessed, you're not somebody who is just have characterized your life in that ideal state, and you have that open, flexible, mobile character activity in you, you will not have no problem in receiving anything, because you are in the natural state, and not any no denomination of faith or belief or culture is keeping you to receive whatever is necessary, is good for the body or for you as your soul to receive, because everything was done by who? God. So if you are believing in God, what kind of belief we are talking about? What kind of faith are you demonstrating? The faith that we are demonstrating, there are so many types. There are those who are fixed. And I say that the Muslim and all these people and all this great Christianity and all that are all fixed religious people who are limited the ability to receive more. They have limited the ability to go on the grounds of being able to embrace the natural given life, due to the fact that they have been captured. They are in that captive state, and being in that captive state, they have to follow the norms of which the spirit impact onto them. And forever, if they are not able to realize and get out of it, then forever they are into that bondage. It is a bondage. It is a captive state. It is something that holds you down. That limits your scope of life. It doesn't give you that chance, that diverse chance, that broad chance that you deserve. The wide opportunity. Why would somebody move from Africa and have some belief in him that outside in certain countries, in the developed countries like Britain or America and all that, there are more wider opportunity there than his own country, which culture and religion is so much the basis of which almost everything is done. Because culture has limited them, religion has limited them. And if you go to certain places of all the developing countries, you can see that they are getting even more limits every day, because they are more into religion, more into culture. This is what holds them down. This is what makes them become more outmoded than being advanced, readiness to move. Whilst we know for various ways that the advanced country are advancing because they are not outmoded. That is what makes them advance. And how did they become not outmoded is based on the fact that they have relinquished, they have put aside, they have dropped that thing that keeps them into that mood of not being able to progress. They have put aside all their primitive imagination and primitive inventions into the museums or into some research center, and they are digging into it. It is not part of their life anymore. Their willingness to move on is something that is beyond even themselves. And so they have the ability to make a step every time, and we keep admiring them and want to emulate them, but we find it hard. We're still holding on to the things that keeps us down, that cannot make us move on to that direction, until the moment when we realize these things, when gradually it creeps into the system of the developing country or whatever state or that person. It creeps into you, and then your awareness comes to you, and then you realize that, was that my life? Was that me? I was stuck in that kind of situation. I held on to things that limited me to move or to make the right steps to move on. And that is the situation. Because we have held on to the things that tells us, the things that has come on that has come out of people that are not good for us. We keep holding on to it. We keep grabbing it so hard, because we are told that it is good for us. Your parents' advice is the best. It will take you far. Now, have you tried to sort of what would I say? Somehow weigh it out. Try to find out. Try to, put it through the process of